thanks for watching The Layered Life. Today we're talking about age-appropriate makeup, which sounds like an interesting topic, but we have a lot of followers that are teenagers and even a little bit younger, and we wanted to do a video for them as well as for some of the moms that might be dealing with this issue. Around age 12 is when girls really start to try on makeup and, you know, get into that sort of thing. Now, whether your daughters are allowed to wear makeup, and they are or not, it's kind of your issue. We definitely don't condone you wearing makeup without your parents' permission. Moms, if you can be the one that is approachable about this subject, kind of make it an open topic to talk to your daughter about it. Maybe she'll come to you for some tips and you can help to teach her the right ways to wear makeup so that she's not caking it on and really looking pretty scary right off the bat. There are some simple ways that you can wear makeup and make it look very modest still and conservative, but still dress up some of those features that girls are noticing and wanting to accentuate. That kind of sounds weird. Girls want to look their best, and there's no shame in wanting to make our bodies look beautiful within reason. Obviously, we don't need to fit a certain mold or go to extreme lengths to look a certain way. But when we take care of our bodies on the outside as well, we feel that on the inside, and we feel that beauty and respect for our Heavenly Father who created us. With that said, we are going to show you some tips on starting out with makeup if you're 12 years old, or, you know, starting makeup for the first time. Some things that are simple to get into, you know, a few things that are just real basics, and then progressively, you know, as you want to maybe increase makeup or do some more fun tricks. I mentioned before moms being open to their daughters to be able to talk about this. I received an idea from a friend, actually a friend of a friend, a little while ago. I can't take credit for this because this was totally her thing, but I thought it was genius. She calls it Tuesday Talks. She had a daughter going into kindergarten and was really concerned about some things that she might experience in kindergarten and wanted to keep that channel of communication open with her daughter. So she came up with the cute idea of Tuesday Talks, which is her and her daughter getting together. They have like a special little treat every Tuesday. She puts the other kids to bed and they can talk about whatever. This can go for boy moms as well. We recommend finding a day and setting aside a time with each of your kids to really open up that channel of communication. It can be What's Up Wednesday, or, you know, Thursday Thoughts, things like that, that really can get your kids talking, and you can use that for makeup. If you want to talk to your daughter about makeup and getting into it, you guys can take this time to get together and go through this fun milestone together. So with that said, I bring to you the lovely Amy and her mad makeup skills, and two of our cute friends that are going to model some different ways to start out with makeup and progress on into it. So we hope that you'll enjoy. Once again, subscribe, pin, and share it if you like it.
So this is our cute little 12-year-old. She has great skin, so we're not going to use a full coverage foundation on her. However, we are going to use a tinted moisturizer. This is from Dr. Brown, and we'll link all of our information below. But it's just a nice, light, colored moisturizer, tinted moisturizer, if you will. And it also has some pore protecting qualities to it. As their skin is growing and, you know, it's experiencing all those hormonal changes, it's nice to put a moisturizer on their skin. That's a really great way to keep things hydrated and keep things balanced. So we recommend starting out, if you are in the 12-year-old to, I would even say 14 to 15-year-old ages, to use a light moisturizer and not necessarily an overall coverage foundation. So that's what we did first. And then I just kind of dotted on some concealer. She had one or two little teeny tiny blemishes, so you want to blend those in as best you can to kind of, you know, hide those little red flare-ups. And then I just took some really light pressed powder, and we're going along the T-zone, so above the eyebrows, down the nose, and on both of the cheeks. That's known as kind of the T-zone and the cheek zone. And, you know, as your skin is growing and your hormones are changing, you kind of get oily throughout the day, so a light pressed powder pressed along the skin is really nice too. And then where she is just young and sweet, the pigment in her cheeks is still really bright and really vibrant. As we get older, the pigmentation in our skin tends to leave, but where she's still young enough, we just accented the natural pigment of her cheeks with a really nice light peach shade. in the Master Class 2 palette that we've used before on the channel. This just helps brighten the face and, you know, bring some light to that area. And then our next step, because she again is very young, is to use a sheer shimmery shade on the eyes. That's very innocent, it's very sweet, and it tends to just pick up the lighting around the eyes and bring some natural accents to the face versus, you know, worrying about shading and contouring and all of that. So just an all over color on the eyelid. Again, this is just basically a ballerina pink shimmer. And I'm just using a simple natural haired brush over the eyes. It's nice and soft. It's not going to cake it on. It doesn't leave a lot of fallout on the cheeks. It's very, very light. She likes to use more neutral colors, so this was a little out of her comfort zone, but I think she really ended up liking the results that it had. And I do have to apologize for lighting. It was very stormy outside on the day that we shot this, and so we're in my bathroom with horrible fluorescent lighting, but we kind of just had to improvise. But again, we're just going through the steps and kind of showing you what to do. But she did look adorable, I can assure you. So next, after we did some eyeshadow, we're going to take just a very quick coat of mascara. Where they're, you know, just learning how to apply makeup, I recommend just one coat on the top lashes. They don't necessarily need it on the bottom because that's kind of a more mature look. So just one coat on the top, and, you know, just to help separate and refine the lashes. It's really great if you have blonde lashes. I really recommend using a black or a dark brown just to open up the eyes and make them look really awake and really fresh. So again, that's just one coat of mascara on the top, and that's really all you need. You don't even need to curl your lashes at 12 years old. And then we're going to take, this is a NYX Lip Butter. It's my favorite pink shade, and this is gonna go along with the eyeshadow. It's very light, it's very sweet, and it's not a lipstick, but it is a very sticky lip gloss, so it's going to stay on for quite a while as long as you're not eating or licking your lips a lot. So this is really nice, just ties in the look. She's just fresh and sweet and looks put together. It's nothing too serious, too crazy, and we think she looks adorable. Okay, now moving on, this is actually her big sister, and her big sister is 15, and we started off with a primer on her face. So we used the Photo Finish primer that we've talked about from Sephora, and we're putting this all over the face. If you're doing a lot of athletics or you're moving a lot and sweating a lot, I really recommend using a primer. It's going to help your foundation stay in place, and it just sets a really good base for foundation. Now, she has a lot of freckles, so she prefers to use foundation. I strongly recommend just using a sheer foundation on young skin. She just wants a little bit of coverage with the freckles. If you have acne starting up, if you have blemishes starting up, a light foundation is really, really great. I apply it with a brush, as I've done in other videos. It just creates a much more even coverage, and sponges tend to absorb your makeup and kind of waste it, whereas brushes really do, in my opinion, have great covering abilities without soaking up a lot of your product. So we're just putting it on the face in downward motions and making it blend as evenly as we can. Now again, going back to the pigment in our cheeks, you don't necessarily need a lot of blush when you're young. And her skin is beautiful, and she tends to, as she says, blush easily, so she picks up a lot of red in her skin. Go with what your skin allows you to do. I'm adding just a little bit of a bronzing contour just underneath her cheekbones, because we're not putting on a blush. We're just adding a little bit of contouring. You don't want just a stark white face. You always want to contour and give another kind of dimension to your skin. And you can see me doing like a C shape. You want to go all the way to the hairline, follow down the temple, and then underneath the cheekbone. Nothing too crazy. Again, this is subtlety. And then starting to fill in the brows at this age is a really good habit to get into. Again, the lighting looks a little bit crazy, but it really did balance out and match. Filling in the eyebrows really just seals in the rest of the look, and it makes you look so much more awake and so much more put together. So start filling in your brows when you're about her age, 15. And then on the eyes, we're going to take, this is more of a matte opaque color, and I'm just going to take that fluffy brush and I'm going to cover the entire eyelid. This is going to kind of set the stage for the rest of the look we're going to do on the eye. And again, I have to apologize for the lighting. It looks kind of crazy, but yeah, it looks really good. It's really sheer, but it's setting a nice even foundation for the eyes. And when you start getting, you know, to where you're getting really good at eye application, you can do a little bit of contouring and a little bit of, you can have fun with eyeshadow. That's the great part about makeup, but there's not really too many wrong things you can do with it as long as you're, I guess, using it in moderation. Then I'm going to take, it's about 2 shades darker. This is kind of a mauve color, and I'm just working it into the eye crease and working in kind of an outward V along her eye and the crease of her eye. And we talked a lot about, she gets up really early for some activities that she has in the morning. So to make her eyes look really awake and bright, we're going to use that outer, almost a V shape. Again, working right along the bottom or top lashes and into the crease of her eye, creating a very, very blended, balanced V shape. And that's going to really help open up her eyes. You can kind of see that as she opens up. And then I'm not a huge fan of eyeliner on young girls. I think the look is really stark and very prominent. So I'm a big fan of using just a dark powder and a small angled brush and working in almost an eyeliner with a dark matte eyeshadow. This trick works really, really well. I do it all the time if I'm in a hurry, and it just looks more natural and not quite as harsh on a young face. So we did that on both the top, on both eyes. And then we're going to also do that along the bottom. And you can go as far in as you need to. She has beautiful big eyes, and so we kind of went across the entire eyelid. And then again on the bottom. And the key to this is really, really blending. You don't want, you know, just a really stark line of powder either. So you really want to blend that in. And on the bottom, you don't want to go clear across the eye. To keep the eye wide and awake, you just want to go almost to the pupil of your eye. And then she actually already had some mascara on her top lashes, but we're going to go ahead and fill in the bottom lashes. And that's going to also make her eyes just look more awake and kind of more put together. So that's another little tip that you can do if you get really good at it. And then as we started to look at the eyeshadow, I added a little bit of a highlight across her brow bone, just again to kind of finish off the look and to make the eyes more put together, and just finishes it off. So you've done your base coat, your contouring with your V shape, and then your highlight. And then again, I took my favorite pink, sticky, if you will, lip color and just patted it on, and it helps really finish off that look, and she looks really beautiful. She looks great. So there's that look, nice and put together. Now we're going to transition into, say she gets asked to a church dance or a junior high dance. This is how we're going to make the look go a little bit from daytime to nighttime. Where we put that shadow, I'm going to go ahead and take a brown eye pencil, and I'm going to fill in the eyeshadow. So basically exactly what we did with the shadow, but we're just going to basically go over the top of it with a brow pencil. Again, not going all the way into the eye, but just focusing on that outer V-shape corner of the lash line. And this really does open up the eye, but is much more dramatic, more appropriate for, say, a dance, or if she's hanging out with friends and she wants to look a little bit glam. That's a great way to do it without going too crazy. And then keeping in step with adding more just to make a little bit more of a dramatic effect, I'm going to take a darker matte brown and then a shimmery apricot color. And a little unknown fact, I mean, maybe it's a known fact, but your shimmer shades are typically your blending shades. They're really, really good for blending in your matte colors. So I used a matte brown with an apricot that was very, very shimmery. It's not packed as tightly in the compact of makeup, and so it allows for a better movement, if that makes sense, when you're blending in your eyeshadows. So if you can get your hands on a really good blending shade, I recommend that. And that's how she kind of updates the looks and makes it look a little bit more mature. And we hope you learned something, and she's on her way. So thanks for watching.